Okay, for this project, the things you're going to need are a pencil, a Sharpie, some scissors, a ruler, and a pretty long paper, like poster board paper or something that you can fold in half so that it's got two sides. And the first step is going to be to actually fold that paper in half. And then we need to trim it a little bit because we're going to need a strip of paper to finish this project off. So I'm just going to actually take my ruler and lay it against the side of it right here, just like this. And then take my pencil, trace right along my ruler, and cut that paper off so that I've got it for later. I'm going to cut through both sides of this so that I end up with one full long strip. I want to make sure I save this because I will need it later. Okay, so just put it to the side, put it somewhere safe. All right, and then the next step, you're going to make sure that the fold of your paper is facing you and that your paper could open up away from you. That's super important because if you have your paper facing the wrong way and you do this next step with it facing the wrong way, instead of ending up with one thing that could like open up like a taco or something, you're going to end up with two separate pieces, and you don't want two separate pieces. You want one piece. So this fold needs to be close to you with the opening going away. And what you're going to do is draw a really large fish so that hopefully it touches like all the way to both sides of your paper, and that it's about as tall as your paper as well. So it's going to be a really, really long, narrow fish. You can think about realistic fish, or you can make up an imaginary fish, totally up to you. But you can think about things like fish fins. You can think about the design on fish, and you just get to kind of make up your own. But here's the trick when you draw it. Your fish's belly needs to be touching the bottom fold so that when you cut your fish out, it stays attached down here at the fold. So your fish's belly, it's like it's laying on the bottom of the ocean. This is the bottom of the ocean. This is the sand, and its belly is laying on the sand. So I went ahead and started one here in pencil. I started in pencil. I'm going to trace over it in Sharpie here in just a second for you to see it. But my fish's belly is touching the bottom of the paper. You're going to see that in just a minute. All right, so here we go. As you're getting started, make sure you're drawing your fish very large so it's filling the full space of your paper. You want your fish to come close to touching both sides as well as the top of your paper in your design. As you're working on this next part, know that you can do anything on your fish that you want. These don't have to be realistic fish. They can be completely imaginary. If there's a particular fish that you really like, of course you can take design inspiration from it. But other than that, you can just use your imagination to design your fish however you want. Make sure as you're drawing that fish's belly is running right off the bottom of your paper in your design work, that you're not even drawing the belly of the fish, so that when you cut it out, the belly stays attached. As you're doing your cutting, make sure you're doing careful cutting, that you're staying right on your lines, and that you're keeping your paper folded the whole time, so that in the end you end up with like a fish taco almost that can be folded and unfolded right at the belly of the fish. Okay, the next step is to go find a window in your house, and you're going to take your fish, and with it still folded, you're going to flip it over so that now the blank side is showing. Okay, I'm doing this one-handed, so I'm not going to be able to do it all on video. But I've got the side with the drawing towards the window and the blank side towards me. I'm probably going to have to press kind of hard on it so that I can see my lines through it. And I just want to take a pencil and I want to retrace all of these lines, all this design work that I did, so that my fish is the same from the left to the right side of it. So I've got the same design on both sides. Okay, so now I've finished on both sides. If I open my fish up, it is the same from both sides of it. Okay, so it's kind of like a fish taco, if you will, where it can open up. It's still attached down the middle, but I've got the same design going on both sides. Now, if you by accident cut yours apart where you've got two separate pieces, you can lay them so that the pieces are touching like this, and then just use some pretty good strong tape across right here to reattach them. That'll be better than trying to use glue because of the next step. All right, so once you have that finished, you've got your fish cut out, you've got the design drawn on both sides of it, just like this. You're ready for the next step.